Today,
Thank you.
Councillor Thompson, today the Mayor was unwell and the Council handed the chair across to you for the Council meeting. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the meeting?
Look, I'd just like to initially thank everyone for their support and also for the way in which they engaged within the meeting today. Look, part of what was so good was to have community come along and do a public forum at the beginning, but also to look at some of the most important things that we have coming up and the exhibition of some of the policies that we really do encourage everyone to go onto the website or to the customer service area and to make their comments. This is your opportunity to have a voice and this is your opportunity to engage with us. We can listen, we can meet with you, we can talk with you, but we also need you to engage and actually make the effort to go in and look for those documents as well.
You said today we talked about the Local Government New South Wales Conference.
We did. We have a conference coming up as of next week and a number of motions that we need to be looking at. But apart from the conference itself, Local Government New South Wales has some fantastic training courses and we have some of the councillors who have already put their hand up to do a number of those courses, which is a part of the professional development that is now required when you undertake the role of a councillor.
And also we put a number of documents out on public exhibition today.
We have procurement policies and things in relation to our donations and gifts. So these are the policies that are so important that when you say that you want to be engaged and you want to have a voice, this is when we're asking you, please, when they're out in exhibition for 28 days, take the time, have a look at them, go in, read them, but then make some submissions and make sure that you make your voice heard.
And Council's report on the 6 months of the operational plan actions, that was quite significant achievements in that document.
There were a lot of achievements in the document, and I think that as a brand new council and for councillors who are only just at the moment starting to get their head around all of the financials as we head into even the budgeting process, it was so good to actually see documented and to have all of our answers or all of the questions that maybe we wanted to ask, is to have the CFO here with us today who really went above and beyond and made clear a lot of that information. So we also know that we have access to the CFO if we need to ask questions going forward. And I think that's one of the important things that we are all learning is that you don't have to wait for a meeting and you don't have to wait until there's an issue. If you have a concern, go through the correct channels, ask the right people, and we can get the answers and then we can inform the community.
And budget control was a significant item for the candidates for election, and the quarterly budget report went through any changes to the budget and whether we were on schedule there, and the CFO provided some information there. Would you like to comment on any of those?
It's been an interesting challenge in the short term because there has been so much focus on finance, so much focus on the budget, so much focus on special rate variations that even now I don't think that anybody could say that they really have their head around everything that we need to. But what I will say is that we now have an understanding of where we can go to and the questions that we can ask and the responses that we're getting. So it's still an enormous learning curve and a cliff for some of us. We have 6 out of the 9 councillors who are brand new to this council, and we are still getting our head around it. But I think today having the opportunity to go through a quarterly review budget or the quarterly review and to actually have the CFO to respond to some of our queries and questions, because, you know, it's a matter of relearning to a lot of the line detail and understanding that money doesn't always have to be real money. Sometimes it is it's put against other items. So it's an interesting time. It's a challenging time, but it's one that every single person who's at the table is committed to making work and to work with the staff to make it work. Our community deserves nothing less.
And we had the public forum and we had a presentation on the preschool proposal in Tumbarumba. It was good to see a resolution around that. How
excellent was that? You know, thank you so much to Jenny and Michael who came along. And people tend to think of childcare as only being around young children and don't see that it actually connects to them. And what was made very clear today is that particularly in a community such as Tumbarumba, without adequate childcare and preschool facilities, then there's not the opportunity for the staff to be able to get the adequate care so that they can actually be employed, whether it be at the mills, whether it be in council, whether it actually be at our schools. It's about providing families with affordable childcare, but not only that, it's the appropriate childcare that enables our preschoolers to learn how to read, to have that interaction. It's not childcare, it's called preschool for a reason, and it's what they get to learn before they're off to school. So I think council was unanimous in its support for, in principle, the development and the application that they're going for with to put that preschool in Tumbarumba. I personally hope it is successful.
Certainly, and I think the most discussed item on the agenda was about destination Riverina Murray.
I know it is so frustrating when, as a local government elected representative, you want to make a difference, and we want our voices heard as well. And it was extremely disappointing to have imposed upon our local government area by other levels of government a change from being a part of the Riverina Murray to another area that we don't believe is necessarily our community of interest. And we'd already had really good partnerships built with others. And to be given, it's almost like an either or. It's, to some level, it's a little bit disrespectful of the quality of councillors we have around the table and what we can actually have and the input that we can make. So I think the decision to actually write to the appropriate people, express our disappointment and ask for it to be reviewed is the right one today.
Excellent. And we had 3 tenders today, and the Copperbella Creek and the Swing Bridge, suspension bridge over Copperbella Creek, is a significant investment on Crown lands. And something exciting for the future, I think.
It is, and what's really important for people to understand is that this is not council money that's being spent. This is a commercial venture that council has the opportunity to deliver the project without having to pay for it. That's always a bonus. But also the significance of that bridge and that creek for, and we're looking at our trails and the development of the various plans to include all of that. And I think that once you start looking at areas like the Copperbella Creek Bridge, that can be included in our plans as well.
Thanks, Councillor Thompson. It's great to catch up and give a little bit of a quick review of the meeting today. Thank you.
And look, I'd like to actually thank Mayor Chaffey for the opportunity to take this on but to also thank him. I know it wasn't 100% well, but he really made the effort to contribute, and he's very much valued. And as I said, thank you so much to the staff for the support. It was an interesting opportunity thrust upon, but I think we got there okay, and I think we've made all the right decisions today.
Certainly short notice and a very well-run meeting and lots of discussion, which was good to see. So thank you.
Thank you to you too.